This stars is in my part of the world, and welcome from me, Martin Smith, from a sunny Cornwall, to my YouTube channel. I trust you're well and interested in learning how to create a form for quoting sales prices. In our previous session, we created a simple quote form for crown carpet. The form allowed us to enter the room dimensions and offer fitting pricing. With the logo added and print layout set, it looked professional. However, we had to type in the description of the selected carpet and know the price. Today, we'll add a catalogue of carpets and prices that the user selects from, making the quote form more usable and reliable. In our previous video, we created this quote form for crown carpet, which seemed to work quite well. However, we had to type in the sales items such as deluxe wool carpet brown and the price and the unit and measure. And I think it'd be a lot better if we had a catalogue that held all the items we sell and the prices attached and the dimensions. So that's what we're going to do today. At the same time, we'll be developing our use of formulas. So first off, we need a new sheet for our catalogue. So down here, at the bottom, we've got a plus sign. Let's give it a name, so we double click on sheet 2 because it's given it a very logical name, and we'll call it Catalogue. And while we're down here, perhaps we should change sheet 1 to read quote. So clicking on our catalogue sheet, we've got a blank sheet here. What we want to do is put some headings in, so we'll have sales item, which would be the description of the item we're going to sell, price, and unit and measure. We'll put UOM, that'll do. The first item we want is our deluxe wool carpet. And you can see that our text is longer than our columns, so the quickest way to do that, if you remember, is wait till we get that extension arrow here. Double click on that and it'll widen it for us. And let's have deluxe wool. We started typing and Excel has assumed we want to write the same thing again, which is not a bad idea. But we can stop and we can change that to, say, green. Now let's do that again, deluxe. Now Excel isn't guessing because there's 2 deluxe wool carpets already, brown and green. Not sure which one we're going to copy. Keep typing. Go rows. Now there's an easy way of doing it. We could Ctrl-C that and Ctrl-V that, copy and paste, and then we could change that to, let's have cream. Now deluxe wool carpet is £32.50. So we could copy and paste that down. There's an easier way. We could just click on that and drag it down and it fills up £32.50 for us. Next one we're going to want is rich wool carpet. But I'm going to have to type everything out again. I'm not really sure I want to do that. So there's 2 ways of doing this. This time we're going to Ctrl-C this and we'll highlight those 4. They all say rich wool carpet. I'll make this one brown. F2 is the easiest way of editing. F2, F2. Second way we can do this, we can highlight those 4 because we're going to have brown, green, rose and cream again. So we'll do the brown. And if we Control and Enter, it fills all of those with brown for us. We can then just go and edit each of these in turn. So F2, green, F2, now let's say the price of rich wool carpet is £27.50. Why not? And I'm going to have to copy those down again. Oh, I don't want to do that. So we can do Ctrl-D and that will just fill in whatever's the highlighted first one. So that's one way, another way of doing it. Economy carpet, let's say we'll highlight those four, we'll do it that way, 19.99, Ctrl-Enter, fill those in. Now they're all in meters squared, so we can do M2. Do you remember how to make that a superscript? Highlight that. You go to Fonts, Superscript, and OK. Then let's copy that down. The other way of copying down is to drag this arrow and put it down. Excel's tried to be clever and change, assuming that the 2 needs to be increased. It's got M2, 3, 4, 5, etc. We don't want that. So let's do Ctrl-D and we just copy that down. Fitting. And I think that was £25 a metre squared. Oh, and then we want our underlay, don't we? Deluxe underlay. Economy. Now notice, because the word above, though I've got economy in my list, the word above hasn't got economy. It's not guessing that it's economy anything. Deluxe underlay was £15 and economy underlay was, I don't know, £12.99. And they're also per metre squared. So we could do Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. So you notice the different ways we're doing the same thing to speed up our process. Right, let's tie this little table up. I think the heading should be bold. So we can do Ctrl-B, or we can hit bold. And those should be in local currency. In my case, it's pounds. So there we have a little table of the items we want to sell. Let's go back to our quote page. Now the question is, how do we then pull those through to here? Well, we're going to use a validation. So we go to data. Here you have validation tools. Now if I expand this, you'll see it actually says data validation, but if it's a smaller size, you just get a little tick box. So we click on that and we get this little panel up. And its first question is, what values are we going to allow in here? So we click on here. We've got various options. We can choose whole numbers, time, date, etc. We're going to choose from a list, our catalogue. And it says, where is this list? So we click on here, go to our catalogue, highlight just the data. So in my case, A2 to A16. And we'll OK that. Now if we click on this list icon button here, this is the list of the items we entered out in our thing. So we can use deluxe wool carpet brown, or choose something different, rich wool carpet brown. And you see it's changed its name. Click on here, we get a little down arrow and we can choose what we want. Now we can do other things with this validation. So we click on our data validation tool again, and you've got two other windows. Data message, what happens when you hover over it? At the moment, not a lot. So we can put a title in here. And we can put a little description here. Let's test that. So now when we click on here, we get this little message we typed in. Please select a sales item from the list. Now what happens if we put in something that doesn't exist? So we'll put in Fred. Get a rather blunt error message from Excel. So we're going to cancel that. Go back to our data validation tool. And we've got the last pane we've got is error alert. What happens when we alert? We can warn people, we can just tell them, or we can stop. In that case, they've got to pick from the list. So we're going to put stop. So give it a title, and we can give it a description. So now if we go over here, that's our input message. If we type in something we know is not on the list, we get a slightly tidier error message. So that's good. Let's just copy this down then. So we've got deluxe wall carpet. We wanted underlay, so we can start typing underlay in here. And you see, even though underlay is not the first word, it's appearing. So we've got deluxe and economy underlay. We'll have the deluxe one. We want gripboard. Gripboards are not on our list, so we can't. We must have missed it off our catalogue. Go back to our catalogue. Yes, we haven't got gripboards, so let's type gripboard in here. I think that was $1.99. Notice because we set the currency for the whole column, it's put the pound sign in my case, and we want it just in meters. So put an M, it's put a 2 very kindly behind it, so we just hit delete to get rid of that. So we can now go back to here and we can type in gripboard, and it's still not on our list. Why is that? Well, if we look at our data validation tool up here, and we go to our settings, catalogue goes from A2 to A16. Okay, go to catalogue. Gripboard's one longer. So we have to extend our range, won't we? We'll click on our first item, go to our data validation tool. We can either change that to a 17 if we wanted to, or we can just highlight the new area, click OK. Now we can copy that down, drag that down, and then enter our new numbers. So I think that was the underlay, wasn't it? Underlay. And that was gripboard. And this was fitting. So we've now got our new data validation tools where we can only enter the items on our catalogue, which is a good start. We now need to be able to pull through the price. And we're going to use a formula to do that. This is our first time to really use formulas. So up here, we've got the formula, but you can type a formula straight in here if you know what you're going to do. We're pretending we don't, so we're going to click on the FX. And it says, what kind of formula would you like to look for? Now, if you know it, you can just type it in. You could select from a category here if you wanted to, but let's assume we don't know what we want. We just want to look up something. And it's brought up a list of possible ones we can use. Now you'll see XLOOKUP is the modern version, as is XMatch. HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP have been largely replaced, but you'll see them in a lot of spreadsheets, and you'll see match in a lot of spreadsheets. We're going to use the up-to-date one, but I will teach you the others at a later date. So let's click on XLOOKUP. And the description tells you what XLOOKUP does. It searches a range or an array for a match and returns the corresponding item. So that's what we want. So we'll click OK for that. And you end up with this panel. And this panel will change depending upon what function you've chosen. This is obviously the details for the XLOOKUP value. And here it says, repeats that it's searching for range, and it says the lookup value is the value you're trying to search for. Well, in our case, we're going to try to search for deluxe wall carpet brown, so we can just click on deluxe wall carpet brown. That's okay. The next value we're going to try and look for is the lookup array. The description is the array or range to search. I think it is asking for that range there, so we'll put that in. And then it says, what's the return array? Is the array or range to return? Oh, what the hell does that mean? Okay, let's look at the help function, see if that gives us any more advice. This will take us to the Microsoft web page for the XLOOKUP function. Tells us what it is. Tells us it's only available in 2016 to 2019. So if you're not on the latest versions, you won't be able to see the XLOOKUP function. Here's the return array. This is the array or range to return. It's still not very helpful, is it? Let's see if it's got any more. Got an example, and it usually has examples. And the example is showing you that what we're trying to look for in our case is the price. So let's close that window down. We don't need that anymore. Go to that, click on our catalogue and choose the price. Make sure we choose the same range. So it's A2 to A17, B2 to B17. It's the same number of rows. Item not found, you notice it isn't in bold, it's in standard font. That means it's not a compulsory value to enter, so we could skip this if we want. However, our list is already saying you can only choose items in that list, so it's never going to get to this thing. Likewise, the match mode has defaulted to a find the exact match, so we don't have to do anything there. And Excel has returned what it thinks the value would be. In this case, it's £32.50, which is what we want. So we're going to OK that. And there we are. We've got our value. Let's just drag these down. So we've got our black cross. We'll drag it down. And it's returned all the values for us. So we're happy. You can do exactly the same with the meters. We could copy this across, but I think repetition's a good idea. So we're going to find the unit and measure. And this time we'll just start from scratch. So we're going to do equal sign because all maths starts with an equal sign. We do XLOOKUP because we know the name of our formula. We'll put a bracket in, and you see in bold it's giving you the same hints as what it's looking for. So if you're more familiar with the formula, this is the way to do it. So XLOOKUP value is still going to be deluxe wall carpet, comma to separate the values. And notice the bold has now moved to the second function it wasn't looking for. Lookup array is that. Hit enter. Oh, because I haven't finished my formula, I shouldn't have put enter in, should I? Okay, so we can go to the end of that, we can put a comma in, and the last bit it needs to have is the return array, which in our case is unit measure. We can close our brackets because we're happy with that. And okay, and it's pulled through our unit measure. Notice gripboard's in meters and everything else is in meters squared. And we can see here that we've got our formula calculations correct. So she's changing the amount, she wants economy brown, so we can click on that, we can type brown. It's brought up the three options of brown carpet. We'll go to rich wool, and we can change the underlay to something else as well. So we can do the same thing here, we can put underlay, and we can go economy, and she now saved herself a ton of money. Form, which is much more useful. We have fixed what the user can enter in terms of sales items. We've automatically pulled through the price and the unit of measure, and we've then got our full calculation. So it's a far more useful catalogue. If we want to add to the catalogue, we'll have to go back in and amend those. Later tutorial, I'll show you a better way of handling catalogues that can increase or decrease in length. I hope that's been useful. And if it has, I'd ask that you click like and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon.